Following the Kia EV9 comes Hyundai's version of the three-row EV SUV. Meet the Ioniq 9, which joins the Ioniq 5 and 6 as part of Hyundai's battery electric fleet. Join us today on this first look deep dive, which takes you inside and out of this all-new vehicle. No driving, though. You'll have to wait a little longer for that. But there is so much to unpack here, so strap in. Whereas the EV9 is all about right angles and rectangles, the Ioniq 9 is rounded and curvy. It also uses that retro-futuristic pixel motif that debuted on the Ioniq 5, and you can see that in full force right here on the front. So obviously it is a closed-off grille because EV, but if you look even a little closer, it's not just blank space here, right? Behind this clear plastic, there's all these squares that make up a very interesting design. All of it comprises a very interesting three-dimensional texture. Also, these flaps down here are dual-action aero flaps, so they help with the car's air resistance. It's kind of like a Pagani Huayra's active aero, which I never thought was something I would compare ever, a Pagani Huayra and a Hyundai, but I guess that is where we are right now. Finally, there's also a front trunk, which I think most EVs, all EVs, should have front trunks. It's not huge, but it is there for smaller, quick-use items like a charge cable or something like that. The Ioniq 9 has the longest wheelbase of any Hyundai vehicle to date. Its wheels come in 19 and 20 and 21-inch variations, and this piece of black trim right here that goes from nose to tail, it does a pretty good job at breaking up all of the sheet metal this car has in profile. Similarly, this piece of bright line trim here, it's very nice, it's very subtle, sweeps up past this window back here, and the entire back quarter section kind of cuts in like a boat tail would. Very visually interesting. Finally, notice the wheel arch here. On other trims of this car, this would be black, but this eyebrow right here, that stays body color. So it kind of creates a squared off visual that totally matches up with the rest of this car's pixel motif. The back of this car arguably is the most visually interesting because not only do you have all of these pixels here and the taillights kind of give Volvo XC90 looks, which not a bad thing as one of the best looking SUVs of the modern era, but just look at the way the name is spelled. Not only is the font cool, but you think about other cars, the badging is just kind of stuck onto the sheet metal. This is actually stuck in. They carved it into the trunk. So that's awesome to see. And the fact that this Hyundai logo is kind of faded out is a very classy touch. Also, you'll notice there is no roof antenna. Finally, as another last fun fact, this is the first Hyundai that uses aluminum quarter panels and fenders to save on weight. Okay, now it's time to check out the inside of the Ioniq 9. Behold, this is the driver's seat of the new Hyundai three-row EV. And check out these seats. Despite the leather being perforated already, there's also this nice little design right here. You know? There is a large curved screen. Let's check it out. It is clear, easy to read, but most importantly, physical volume knob. I'm going to really pay some attention to this because apparently this is an endangered species, but it is still here, as well as physical buttons for all of your radio functions. Love to see it. And below that, you have your climate panel. And below that, here is a handily positioned port for your electronics, and it is rubber lined so they don't go anywhere. And you get 3 ports for charging. Very handy. Here is your steering wheel. It is modern and minimalist with perfect amount of space that you can see through. You can see your driver information cluster and all the information that you would need from that. And here's your volume and adaptive cruise controls. This cubby over here, again, these nice little design touches here that didn't need to happen, but they're here anyway. This is a charging pad, and here's your cubby here. And this is your drive selector mode. And again, there's more detailing here. They really didn't need to do this, but they did it anyway. And you've got 2 good-sized cup holders here, and this entire console actually slides backwards if you need it, and it leaves this big space down here for purses, bags, whatever you need to keep handy. As with other Hyundai models, your driver lever is right here. It's a column-mounted situation, so you don't have anything else here to take up that space. Well, Kristen, what would you do with that space, you ask? Oh, I'm so glad to show you. You can scoot over in case you need to make a quick exit and you don't want to head out your door, just kind of swing through here, end up here, and we're off to go check out the second row. So the Ioniq 9 can seat either 6 or 7 passengers, depending on seat configuration. Obviously, this is the 6-passenger version, as you can tell by the 2 captain's chairs here in the middle. And the first and second rows actually do have that recline function that you saw in the EV9. These seats are extremely comfortable, and here's this cubby that we slid back earlier, but this actually opens both ways. It's dual hinged, so people up there and people over here can make use of it. So you've got your own climate back here, and just check out these seats. They look very plush, opulent, and comfortable. And just look at all of that roof glass. Wow. And geez, from back here, you can see how steeply raked that front windshield is. You don't notice it sitting right up in the driver's seat, but from back here, you're like, wow. Oh, look, privacy screen. Nice. Let's go check out that third row. So back here we have 2 cup. Oh man, 2 cup holders again for back here. This car likes people being hydrated. And this is the amount of legroom that you're working with. Right here, like that. You know, so it's not terrible. As you all know, I am not tall, but I think for short distances it's fine. And also because this flat floor here, it makes it a lot more comfortable. Another port over here. These are your seat controls, so nobody is stuck back here. This window isn't giant. I kind of wish more of this was window. However, if you look at how much window the rest of the car affords you, I don't think anybody back here would complain. You know, they were really going for spaciousness and openness when designing this car, kind of making it a living room on wheels. I know that's a term that gets thrown around a lot in car design, but I think they actually did pull it off here. Immediate first impressions of the Ioniq 9. You know, with these 3-row SUVs, the trunk space is almost always sacrificed in favor of third-row occupancy, and that is a wrong that has been righted here. This is a reasonably good trunk without the seats folded down. Obviously, you know, you hit these, you can fold down the second row, you fold down the third row, and you get maximum trunk space. What's under here? Oh, there's a little underfloor storage, which is not bad, actually. You could probably fit, you know, a couple bottles of wine if you wanted to, without them rolling around. Oh, and finally, this car has vehicle-to-load capabilities. It means you can plug in electronic accessories like a cooler or an air compressor, you know, really whatever your adventurous heart desires, and the car will be able to run it. At launch, the Ioniq 9 will have a 110.3 kilowatt-hour battery, and it'll be offered in 3 different setups. The first is a long-range rear-wheel drive model that'll make 215 horsepower. Hyundai estimates the EPA driving range to be 335 miles. On the standard 19-inch wheels, 0 to 60 happens in 8.4 seconds. Then there's the long-range all-wheel drive that makes 94 horsepower with its front motor and 215 with the rear motor. Combined, the system output comes to 303 horsepower. On the standard 19-inch wheels, it'll hit 60 in 6.2 seconds. Finally, there's the performance all-wheel drive, which makes 215 horsepower from both front and rear motors. Here, the combined system output is 422 horsepower. On the 21-inch wheels, it'll hit 60 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds. From a 350 kilowatt fast charger, the Ioniq 9 will be able to charge from 10 to 80% battery in just 24 minutes. Finally, the North American version will have up to a 5,000-pound towing capacity. Production of the Ioniq 9 will start early next year, and no official pricing has been announced at this time. But if we were to do some educated back-of-the-napkin math, we would estimate prices to start from $61,500 and go all the way up to $75,500 depending on trim. Again, we'll see how right we are in a few months' time. For more information on the Ioniq 9, about EVs, or just Hyundai in general, head over to motortrend.com, get read up, and thank you so much for watching.